Hello everyone, this is Jed Shlackman here. I'm a holistic counselor as well as a spiritual energy healer and hypnotherapist. For this video I want to speak about what I'll refer to as Jedi Healing. Healing is something that comes in many different forms or variations. There are many different modalities that are designed to facilitate healing. And really underlying any healing that manifests, there's some form of shift in energy, shift in consciousness, and consequently a shift often in physiology and chemistry. But underlying that physical form, there's always the consciousness and energy. So we have these multiple dimensions or layers of our being, layers of reality in a sense, and the non-physical, the layers beyond our five sense perception are really governing and informing what we're perceiving on the five sense level on the physical plane. So healing usually involves shifts occurring on all those levels for complete healing to occur. So if there's a distortion, some imbalance on one level, and that is not resolved, then over time it will tend to manifest on the other levels. We have the saying in metaphysics, as above, so below, as within, so without. So one level will reflect the other levels. It doesn't always appear instantly, especially because the physical level has the dimensions of space and time. So things don't manifest usually instantly on a physical level, but if the energy pattern is continuing or persisting, then in time it generally creates the physical manifestation or reflection of that pattern. So with that in mind, a question we can ask ourselves is, how might I facilitate a healing shift to occur? So if disease or illness is a product or a consequence of some form of disharmony in a field of energy or a flow of energy, then to facilitate healing, we want to create some effect or provide some input that helps restore a coherent, harmonious field of energy, and that helps release or remove any disruption or blockage or resistance to the healthy energy flow. So really some of the simplest ways to foster that are healing frequencies, energy fields, in particular the ones that we can generate through our own being as we bring ourselves into a state of deep peace and harmony, of coherence, of wholeness. So if you're playing a role of a healer to foster the best possible outcomes, you want to bring yourself into that ideal, healthy, harmonious, balanced, and coherent state. There are many different techniques and rituals, things people do that are designed to help bring themselves into that state. So we can learn different healing systems. In my own personal path and experience, I studied Reiki as well as studying and exploring a variety of other energy healing modalities and hypnotherapy and energy psychology, all these different interfaces or systems, we could say, that are designed to help foster some shifts in our being, some form of healing. So one simple way is to just imagine that you, as this individual self, are connected or in harmony with the infinite self, what you might call God, Source, Great Spirit, the Divine, the Prime Creator, Supreme Being, whatever label you like to use for that concept to describe that essence or source. You imagine yourself as being at one with that you are not separate from God. You are, in a sense, an extension or expression of God, sort of a fractal holographic fragment of the creative source. And in your individuated persona or expression, you carry some form of distortion, some alteration of the original field, original source, but you can imagine yourself free of any distortion, of any sense of separation, of any imbalances, just being in a state of pure being, pure awareness, pure allowance, and letting the source field, the God energy you could call it, just pulse through you, pulsing also through your physical form, through your body. So like waves of light coming in and radiating out into this physical realm. So that field is extending out into the environment around you. And anyone who's close to you or nearby who chooses to go into resonance with you, to allow that field of energy to impact them, can receive the benefit of it. So you're kind of like this repeater of the source field, an extender of the original God frequency in a sense. You can make the analogy of a Wi-Fi repeater where you have that field of frequency or energy that's carrying the internet signal, and in order for that signal to reach the ultimate receiver, like a phone or a computer, the device that needs to access that network, you might need a repeater to strengthen, to expand that field to where it will be received. So each of us as a spiritual being in this human experience can function as one of those signal or frequency repeater or extender mechanisms for the creative field, the divine field, the field that has the wisdom and intelligence that underlies all of life, really. So it has that infinite intelligence inherent in it, and our conscious mind doesn't have to grasp that. It's really just about letting go and letting the energy pulse through, letting that limitless frequency field come through our being here. And if we're generating that field that's balanced and harmonious, then it can provide what someone else may need to shift their own field to bring themselves into a state of balance and harmony. And the more clear and strong the field that we're able to emanate is, the more potential that has to assist other people to help uplift their field. So the stronger and more potent the energy field is, the more it can help raise up another field that might be weaker than the field that's being generated. So if you think about interactions among people, the person who seems to have the most charisma to them, the strongest energy that they emanate, other people tend to follow them, to be attracted to them, and to, in some way, adapt to that person, to emulate them in some sense. So we have people that are leaders who have a strong field, and people start to follow them and emulate them and want to be, in a sense, more like that person that they're looking up to. Well, that's not just happening psychologically on a conscious level, it's also happening energetically on a more subconscious level. So we can be around other people and affecting them, whether we're consciously intending to or not, and whether they're consciously intending to receive that influence or not. So with the idea of Jedi healing, we're not actually deliberately trying to change or fix another person. We're just radiating the field, the force you could call it, from the Star Wars lexicon. So the force is just the force of life. It's the field of energy underlying all creation, and each one of us is an extension and expression of that original field, of that force. And the more clearly and harmoniously we express or project that field, the more we can support other people in their healing process. But it's also up to them, for them to be open to receive that, to let those waves of energy resonate through their energy field, for them to attune to that in a sense, to let their energy shift to harmonize with the more healthy, the more balanced, coherent field. This is something that we all have the power to do. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to learn all the anatomy of the body. You don't have to learn about all the chakras and meridians and nadis and other anatomy of the energy field. You can just be present in the energy itself, allowing the energy to do what it innately is capable of doing. So for those that are interested in healing, I invite you to begin a practice for yourself where you just tune into that essence, where you feel your breath, you feel waves and pulses of energy going all the way through your body, and you can bring your awareness to any area of your body or your energy field. The energy can be, in a way, focused more specifically, so you can bring your attention to any particular area that you might feel needs extra focus. And as you do that, you start to notice sometimes where there is some type of tension or restriction or constriction in the flow or pulsing of the energy. Sometimes you might feel an ache or pain in an area, a tightness. So those can be signs that there's a disruption to the flow of energy there. But as you bring through this expanded higher frequency, this energy that's more undiluted in a sense, unadulterated, more attuned to the original potential of creation, then the more you can help your own restrictions or distortions start to release, start to unwind and let go, so you can be fully open to that flow of energy. I hope that this explanation is useful, this idea of Jedi healing, of just being at one with the force, the source of life, letting that energy pulse through you and allowing it to be shared or expressed in a way that others can receive and benefit from it. So when someone comes and asks for healing, they have the intention usually to receive. So in that case, there's already in some way a preparation or openness to receive that field of energy. But the more all of us can bring ourselves into a state of openness, of letting go, of trusting that source field to come through us, to harmonize us, to balance us, to bring us back toward a state of wholeness, the more healing can manifest. So in a way, it's about letting go of all the energetic debris and clutter that we've collected as we go through life. We collect all kinds of thoughts and emotions, beliefs, resistance, self-protection, etc. All these constrictions in the field of energy that we may have created to protect ourselves, to in a way shield ourselves from pain or suffering. But over time, as they build up, they're actually interfering with the flow of the source energy. They're accelerating the process of aging. They're fostering different illnesses and diseases. So if we want to be healthier, then we want to release all that clutter, to just let the original creative energy flow or shine through us, to rejuvenate us, to refuel our spiritual essence, in a sense, our passion for life, our innate desire to create. So I appreciate each of you for viewing this video and exploring these topics. For those that are interested in healing of any kind, of any level, and holistic health overall, I invite you to visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. For now, I'd like to wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.